I'm Bridget Phelps and I'm the counselor at Pocahontas Junior High. This is my first book talk and I'm going to share with you Grimm's fairy tales from the Brothers Grimm. You have heard fairy tales probably most of your life, where you've seen Disney's version of fairy tales, but from the brothers, here they are, Jacob and Wilhelm, because they were German, Grimm, their versions came first. And what Disney did with their stories, whew, goodness, I want you to see the difference, what the original stories are like, because Disney made all of the fairy tales so sweet and everybody comes out with, you know, rainbows and sunshine, but that's not what the original stories are like. So I'm going to read for you a little part of Cinderella and what happens with her sisters. And it's my absolute favorite. You know from any version that you've ever learned that Cinderella goes to the ball and she has the shoe and she loses the shoe, and the prince is going to find his true love by the girl whose foot fits in the shoe. And so the sisters are all excited and they want to get to try the shoe on. Okay, so far everything is the same, but here is what the Grimms originally wrote. The next morning, the prince went with the shoe to his father and said to him, "Only the woman whose foot fits this golden shoe will be my bride." Okay, so this is the same. The two sisters were overjoyed to hear that news. They both had beautiful feet. The elder went to the mother into a special room to try it on, but the shoe was too small for her, and she couldn't get her big toe into it. Her mother handed her a knife and said, "Cut your toe off. Once you're queen, you won't need to go on foot anymore." The girl sliced off her toe, forced her foot into the shoe, gritted her teeth, and went out to meet the prince. He lifted her up on his horse as his bride and rode away with her. But they had to pass by the mother's grave, and two little doves were perched on the hazel tree there, calling out, "Hurukukoo, hurukukoo." Blood is dripping from the shoe. "The foot's too long and far too wide. Go back and find your proper bride." When the prince looked down at the girl's foot, he saw the blood spurting from the shoe, and he turned his horse around. He brought the false bride back home, and that since he didn't have his true bride, her sister should try on the shoe. The sister went into her room and succeeded in getting her toe into the shoe, but her heel was way too big. Her mother handed her a knife and said, "Cut off part of your heel. Once you're queen, you won't need to go on foot anymore." The girl sliced off a piece of her heel, forced her foot into the shoe, gritted her teeth, and went out to meet the prince. He lifted her up on his horse as his bride and rode away with her. When they passed by the little hazel tree, the two little doves were perched on the branch, calling, "Hurukukoo, hurukukoo." Blood is dripping from her shoe. "The foot's too long and far too wide. Go back and find your proper bride." Cut off a toe and cut off her heel? Guys, this is not what Disney presented it as. So I encourage you, go find a copy. There's bukus of copies of the Grimm Brothers fairy tales. Go find them, go read them, find out the real story.